Other interesting business news, you have Spotify beating expectations in spite of a price hike. Now, they actually posted a quarterly profit earlier this week on Wednesday, the first time since 2021, beating Wall Street expectations by a pretty comfortable margin, and they shot the shares up significantly. It looks like they also notched a 16% year-over-year bump in Spotify Premium subscribers, despite raising the monthly fees last July earlier this year, which was actually, I believe, the first price hike in the US. And I can't fathom, I'm actually pretty impressed with this, just because most anecdotal experience, most people I know these days are trying to tighten their belt, try to trim back on frivolous spending or not essential spending. And Spotify Premium is certainly the definition of a premium product you don't need, especially because they have the free version, it just has advertisements in. And depending on how much you hate advertisements, you can either mute it or just fast forward. So I'm actually fascinated to hear that more and more people are buying Spotify Premium, and I wonder what the long-term track is going to be for Spotify. I mean, this is in spite, they also, part of the reason that they increased their overall outlook and Wall Street is so happy is they not just increase their sales, but they decrease their costs as well. Now, specifically, they cut about 600 employees earlier this year, as well as spending cuts with the podcasting units they produced in terms of the actual facilities. They spent a little over 100 of these, $140 million on 2 studios, which, depending on the size and complexity of the studio, is ridiculous, especially for podcasting. Part of the fascinating, organic, homegrown feel when you entertain a podcast is that each creator has his own environment. It's usually at a place they create, either at their house or their warehouse. It's kind of part of their persona, so to say. And, from anecdotal experience here, I don't rent out a professional studio. This is just my everyday office. So in front of me, I just have my IT, I got my laptop, got my monitors, got another monitor and another monitor. You can never have too many, really. And it's just kind of, I think it's more authentic. So I actually don't even know how much demand there is for a professional podcast studio. Depending on the use case, it might actually feel less authentic, and the consumers might not even appreciate it when it comes to kind of making a copy paste like a traditional news studio. Well, let me know in the comments. Do you think that would be a variable people care about when it comes to consuming podcasts? But nevertheless, they spent about $140 million on 2 studios, and subsequently, I believe, looks like they sold it off. So it'll be interesting to see, how long until Spotify becomes a real juggernaut? And I say real juggernaut in terms of how many podcast platforms or providers will really be left at the end of the day. Earlier this year, we saw Stitcher. They closed down completely after they were recently acquired, I believe, by the parent SiriusXM Radio, which is already a combination of 2 companies to begin with that acquisition years ago. So it'll be interesting to see how many people continue to buy Spotify Premium, which, guys, fun reminder, this show is also on Spotify. So let me know in the comments, do you already pay for Spotify Premium? And if you don't, is that something you'll probably increase in the next couple of months? It'll be interesting to see, but as I would say, time shall tell. Thank you again, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. I know we're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of October, so if you can click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a comment helps me make the channel better and better with your input. Even critical feedback is highly appreciated, because I like to say that's how you grow the most. And also, liking the video lets me know I'm on the right track as well. Also, and lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.